Hey everybody, this is SWChris. I'm from SW City, and tonight's vlog is going to be a little more somber than usual. Just had something bad happen on Sunday. Got word that my dog Peaches, back in Kansas, she has not been doing so well. She had been basically itching herself constantly, getting skinnier, even though she was constantly eating. And she was just having trouble just kind of getting around from day to day. And so my parents took her to the vet on Monday, and this is after they talked to me. And the vet agreed with them that it was time to put her down because, it was just too much pain for her to be in. So that's what happened is my dog Peaches died on Monday afternoon, and I'm sad about it. I'm not, I don't know what to say, but like, I've been kind of down about it because, well, of course, I've had her for 15 and a half years. Well, my parents have had her for 15 and a half years, but when we went to pick her up, it was for pretty much, it was a birthday gift. We had some family friends, the Harveys. Let me itch my hand because it's itching. We had some family friends, the Harveys. Their Cocker Spaniel had a litter of puppies, and so we went to go pick one up because we had just lost our previous dog, Tuffy, a couple weeks before, I think, and he had gotten run over. And so we went to look at the puppies, and there were a bunch that were running around and playing and being really energetic. And then there was this other one who was kind of on the outside and really kind of, I guess, shy and on the edge of the group, not really participating. And in fact, she crawled under a wheelbarrow to get out of the sun and just kind of laid there. And I thought that was the dog. That was going to be the one that I would take home. I'm not, at the time, I don't think I knew quite why, but I think I think I recognized kind of a kindred spirit, because I had been kind of like the runt of the litter in terms of participating with my classmates and being sporty, and I wasn't really the popular kid. And so I don't know if I projected all that onto Peaches, the puppy, or not. But, she just seemed like the one. And my parents were a little apprehensive at first, but they quickly grew to love her, and it was great. So after that, we picked up another dog, Holly. And so you can kind of see that in the picture I'm going to flash up on the screen. And you can see how small Holly is and how big Peaches is. This is probably taken a year or two after we had gotten Peaches. I'm not quite sure when, but Holly was still a puppy. And then in the next picture, you can see that Holly is now bigger than Peaches, because that's just what it's like. So, but yeah, it was great to have a dog again. I had a previous dog that I grew up with, Chester, and he had died when I was 14, and so this, I don't know, I guess I was 15 or 16 when we picked up Peaches. Probably 16, maybe 17. I haven't done the math yet. I know she was 15 and a half years old when she died this week. So, but we played a game called Tennis Ball Fetch, and she'd go to bed next to me and wake up next to me every once in a while. Usually, most of the time when I was at school, when I came home, she would do that. I don't know if that was so much a thing when I was in high school and still living at home. But when I came home from school, she'd sleep on my bed, and it'd be cool because the dog would sometimes even stay through the whole night and wake up next to me. And that was always the greatest feeling, to wake up to the dog and have her lick my face. And even though her breath stank and always stank and never stopped stinking, it was always fun to, just to be loved on by Peaches like that. It was fun to even come home from school because I knew Peaches would always be waiting, and she'd always come up with just running up to me because she never forgot the couple years that I spent with her, when I was still living there. And even after 6 months of not seeing her, she'd still greet me like I was the best friend, her best friend in the whole wide world. And, the last few years, not so much this June because she was just so old, but all the previous visits, she would come waddling up to me. Her tail would be wagging her butt. It would be going so fast. And in the years when she was older, she would even start peeing on the carpet because she was getting incontinent. So, it's just such a dear girl, I remember one Christmas, we had a incident with a neighbor dog. We had taken her over to our grandparents' house, and the neighbor dog, I don't know, somehow decided to bite off part of her ear. And that was really scary because we weren't sure what was going to happen. I don't think we would have had to put her down, but, with an ear that won't stop bleeding and just really a strip of it just completely missing, it was really scary. And we spent Christmas Eve in the emergency veterinarian's hospital. My brother Andrew was quick on the ball though, and he actually put a chip clip on her ear. And that actually stemmed the bleeding enough to where it could coagulate and just kind of clot up a little bit. So good thinking on his part, and it was great. And then Peaches' ear healed after that. She was always missing a piece of it, but it didn't really stick out, The funniest thing that always happened with Peaches, and this happened with both Peaches and Holly, is one Thanksgiving, we were at our grandma's again, and Grandma and Grandpa's, because Grandpa was still alive, and he had just bought this very expensive turkey, and and they had prepared it before we went to church that morning. And we went to church, and we came back, and we saw the plate that the turkey had been on the floor. And there was no turkey there. No turkey left. And then we looked around. We were wondering what was going on because there was nothing, absolutely nothing left on the plate. And we looked, and we saw the two dogs, and they were very happy to see us. They were just excited that we had come home, but they were visibly whiter. Like they were fat. They were like fat dogs. Like they had suddenly gained a bunch of weight. And and it dawned on us that they had eaten the whole turkey by themselves. The whole thing, just the huge, huge turkey, expanded their stomachs, and we had to go and get a cheapo turkey from Dillon's down the street, which tasted fine, by the way. But Grandpa never really got over that. He was kind of grumbly that his prized turkey had gotten eaten by the dogs. Oh man, but yeah, they spent the whole afternoon outside. Anyway, that's my favorite story I like to tell about both those dogs. They really were like sisters, I think. And I don't know if Holly's quite caught up to the fact that Peaches is gone, but she will when they bury her, I guess, which I think is going to happen any day now if it hasn't happened already, because parents are going to let her see the body. And, dogs aren't people per se, but they're soulish. They have emotions and they have feelings. And what really is sad about this whole thing is just thinking about, how Holly's going to deal with it and her grieving process, because she's going to go through one. Myself, I am actually glad that Peaches is not suffering, but I'm very sad that I couldn't see her one last time. And I didn't want to keep her alive until I could come home for Christmas, just so that I could do that, because, that's really selfish, and, it wouldn't be fair to her. So, she's at peace, and she's at rest, and it's going to be a good thing. So that she's not suffering anymore. And I don't know if dogs go to heaven. I'm a Christian, and so we have a particular conception of heaven where life after death is a gift that is specifically spelled out for humans, but it doesn't say anything about animals. It does say that the salvation plan is for humans because they're the race that fell. But as for whether soulish animals could be with us in heaven through a good gift of grace, who knows? I certainly am kind of broken up about the fact that, I may not ever see her again, but I know we have a good God who does things for good reasons, and there's no reason for me to, kind of doubt that. And I have a suspicion, it may just be wishful thinking on my part, but I have a suspicion that that's maybe one of the gifts we'll have. If not in heaven, then on the new earth. Anyway, that's kind of my retrospective of Peaches, and I am sad she's gone, and I'll miss her a lot. But I'm glad Holly's still with us, and she seems to be doing okay. And I'll just leave you with one last picture. This is my favorite picture of Peaches and me. So, thanks, Peach. I'm glad that I got to spend so much time with you.